I've got a 200T here. Got a bunch of stuff going on, as you can see. We've got to replace the bearings in this and the seals. And what I wanted to do was, well, I just did one of these, and I tried to use heat to put the bearings in. It didn't really work so good. So let's go over how to do it cold, in case you want to do it cold. Now, these are OEM bearings, and the bearings do indeed have a nylon cage to them. I tend to put the nylon cage towards the seal side. But what you want to do is get the bearing in there, and if it flops in, you know you've got a problem immediately. This doesn't. I've got some 5/16 threaded rod, and this happens to be long, so I've got just a socket here to take up the slack. But some threaded rod and some nuts and some washers, a nice assortment, and basically you have it. So what I'm going to do here is put this on through, and you make sure your washers are on the metal there, and they are. And then this socket again takes up a little bit of extra slack here. Let's put it this way. So what you do is you cinch it down a little bit. You might notice that it's not quite going straight. Well, now the bearing is effectively in just a little bit, and you can tap on it nice and gentle and line it up. Don't want to hit it hard, but you do want to tap on it nice and easy. There. And when this goes, the whole thing will go nice and smooth. With washers and everything, you can change the configuration until your heart's content here. Whatever you want to do. Sometimes you just need some different washers. So some 3/8 washers help. And I can just get these at Tractor Supply. I've always got a nice assortment sitting around, because if something doesn't quite work, then at least I got it, you know. Yeah, that'll be more lined up. And you could certainly say, you know what, I just use heat and they go right in. And if that's you, then that's great. But for me, they go in, they get stuck, and I'm worried about the heat with the nylon. If it was a metal cage, I wouldn't worry quite so much, but I'm definitely worried about the nylon. Anyway, so now we've got that whole thing. This may not quite go. If it does, great. Yep, there it goes. So you can watch this go in nice and smooth. Just a little off on one side. Should go in butter smooth. There. Some guys right now saying that I'm crazy, but you know, there's no torches here. You can't get hurt. Can't hurt the nylon in there, and tapping on the metal outside does essentially nothing. There. All the way in. That's it. That bearing is all the way home. Undo it. Now your bearing's in. And you can look on the other side and make sure it's home, and indeed it is. So, let's go to the other one. I'll do the other one nice and quick here. Now that I have the configuration of washers that I want. Again, I usually put the nylon towards the outside. Just think, if you get this stuck halfway, guess what you're doing anyway? You know, if you're using heat, it gets stuck. Shucks, right? You're doing this anyway. So this is a very inexpensive thing. Does not take a lot of time. A little on the picky side. And this is just going to go all the way in. No problem at all. That's it. So the time here is just cleaning all this stuff up and making sure all the surfaces are degreased and all that stuff. So, you know, tearing apart the saw takes a bit of time. So there you have that. So, now the bearings are in. Now is kind of the really tricksy part, which is the seals. So, credit to Lone Wolf, the guy on OPE forum. You can go check out what he does. He does lots of these. You know, a while ago we had an argument, and I did a video on the seals. Now, I still think there's at least a little bit of a debate on the seals, but if you're rebuilding the saw, the gasket and seal kit comes OEM from Stihl. I think this is like under 20 bucks. So it's not that big of a deal to get a gasket and seal kit. If you try to buy the seals by themselves, per each, they want to charge me $12 for these darn things. No, 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 no. So I will say this. If you are going to put the saw together like this from scratch, then I would probably at this point recommend the OEM seals. However, if you're going to put just new seals in, if that's all you're doing, then I don't think it makes sense to use the OEM seals because they're just so hard to install. They break. They just break. The material here is Bakelite, and it just cracks. You know, it stretches and then cracks, and it's not good. It's not like rubber and metal that the aftermarket seals are. Now, I do know that Stihl does make a seal. I think it's for the 026 on the flywheel side. It does fit. However, if you want to get the aftermarket seals, that's fine too. They are metal around the outside and rubber for the actual sealing material as opposed to Bakelite. So, if you are putting together something from scratch like this, I think it makes sense to use the OEM Bakelite seals, probably because they're just more suited to this saw. But if you are trying to change out just the seals, you've got the whole crankcase together already, you're trying to change out the seals, then because of the ease of installation, the aftermarket rubber metal traditional seal I think works better. So I'm going to show you here that, you know, I actually tried pulling these seals in with the 5/16 threaded rod, but what happens is if you're off even by a little bit, the threaded rod rubs on the seal and can potentially bugger the actual sealing surface. So I had to make a jig. Then after I made a jig, credit to my brother who machined this for me, made a tool. This happens to be out of brass. If this works good, please let me know if you guys are interested. I may add this to the tools lineup because this fits right inside there and it will not allow the threaded rod to touch the seal. So in and out, it's not, the threaded rod's not going to hurt the seal. So let's see if this actually works. If it does, then I will consider making these on bulk, and probably not in brass, probably in aluminum. So this goes, I'll have a bolt and a washer that's dedicated to this, but that essentially goes through there like that. You know, I need first, I did degrease this, but what I do want is some anaerobic sealer here. In this particular case, a little bit of anaerobic is probably going to be the ticket. I'm sure there are guys out there that are saying, Matt, you're making a mountain out of a molehill, but for those guys that want to be picky, let's be picky, right? So the seal goes effectively right in here. Again, this is just 5/16 threaded rod. I will probably have a bolt that this will work for. The washer and nut. And we actually made this fairly long because it'll be easier to keep straight. It'll be much easier to keep the seal driven straight. So this is a kind of a first go on this. Let's see if this works. It's either going to work or it's going to break the seal. It's going to crack the seal because these darn things crack. They're annoying. Oh, this works perfect. Look at that. Oh, perfect. Now, the 200Ts are different from most other saws that I do because you put the seals in first and then you put the crank in. Now, that's different from just about every other configuration of saw that I do. That goes down and stops. That's it. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh. Just gently bring that out. And now we haven't buggered the seal. Now when you put the crank through, it'll seal all the way around. Beautiful. Nice and even. Very nice. Okay, let's do the other one. We'll try it, see if we get repeatability here. The anaerobic again. Yeah, I already hit these surfaces with brake cleaner. So if anybody's interested in getting an adapter like this, what I think I would do is make up a little kit, probably where you have a piece of maybe a long bolt and some washers, and that way it just is easy to do something like this. So if anybody's interested in a kit like that, let me know, and then I'll know how many to have my machinist make up, and we'll see how that adds to the lineup. Yeah, bring that. So you basically attach the seal to the brass piece, and once it's there in the brass piece, now it's not going to rub as it goes in. And what I think I'm going to recommend is probably when we're done, you pull the threaded rod out first, and the brass piece helps guide it. Yeah. So again, make sure it's straight. See, I don't have a bolt here, so I can't grab it. But that's going. Yeah, you can't use a hammer on these darn things because they'll just break. This is, yep. That's it. So I'll have a bolt here so you can actually grab that with a socket. It'll be much easier. But proof of concept, you have two perfect installations right off the bat. And what we can do is leave the brass piece here and pull the threaded rod straight out, and that way there's no chance of buggering that seal. Check that out. So, thanks to my brother for prototyping this. I think I'm going to get this over to the machinist and have him see if he can duplicate this a number of times. And then we can get people some really nifty equipment. So, obviously this is a piece that really isn't going to wear out. So, it really is going to be a one-time deal. And it probably won't be that expensive. Pretty inexpensive to have made. So, anyway, I think that's about that for the video. Proof of concept that this tool does actually work. That's really what I was going for here. I'm going to put the rest of the case half together, but you've already seen me do that. So that's really, there's nothing super exciting there. Just need to start getting these saws back together and out the door. But now I've got a nifty tool for a 200T. This was really kind of the other thing that was holding me up. You know, I build a lot of saws, 372s, 394s. For the most part, I don't need lots of extra equipment. I can usually make jigs or make things happen. But getting the 200T seals in, the OEM seals, that's darn tricky. Now again, if you're doing this and the saw is all together, you just want to change out the seals, you can always dig out the OEM seal and put in the aftermarket one. That's no problem. Those tap in just as usual. If you want to replace them with OEM seals, I'm going to recommend you split the case half. It's just easier. Split the case half and then use a tool to actually draw them in. And now I can just put the gasket in there, bring this right back together with the crank and everything, and the crank will go in there and seal up just right. So, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to contact me if you want a tool. So, I'll put the email address at the bottom. Thanks for watching.